All right. I am excited. Marta, how are you doing today, ma'am?
I am doing very well, right? Thank you for having me here.
Fantastic. Well, hey, for everyone, my name's Wade Blair. I'm with the Blair Group Luxury Homes and Estates with Keller Williams and Carlsbad. I'm sitting here in our beautiful office here today, and I am very excited to have a guest speaker today, Marta Hoyt. Marta does reverse mortgages on the lending side, and so we're going to share kind of a Q&A and have this be a discussion to kind of get some more clarity about what reverse mortgages are, why someone want to do that versus traditional financing. So I think today is going to be very informative for all our visitors on this video today. So Marta, remind me, we had met, I moved here in 2015 from Texas. And if I recall, did we meet at a chamber function like 6 years ago? I can't remember.
We did. It's been that long already. I believe it was out in Escondido.
Okay, I've slept a couple times, so I don't remember that far back. Let's hop right in if you don't mind. So let me ask you this. So before you got into loans or reverse mortgages, what did you do before you got into the loan side?
Well, I've been doing reverse mortgages exclusively now for about 11 years. I'm with Mutual of Omaha Mortgage.
Okay.
Prior to that, I was a traditional loan officer doing forward loans. I was attracted to reverse because of its little features that I will tell you more about. And the fact that baby boomers are getting older. The reverse mortgage requires a person to be at least 62 years old. It was a market that I like and that I'm passionate about. And so here I am.
Fantastic. And before you got into traditional loans, did you have something you did primarily, or you stay-at-home mom, or did you?
Oh gosh, no, I did not. Well, I was not a stay-at-home mom. I was a financial.
Kudos to all the stay-at-home moms. I know that's a full-time job in itself. So I just want to give a plug to all you full-time jobbers at home. I can't imagine. It's tough. So go ahead.
I wish I could imagine that. I love children, but no, I worked really hard. I was a single mom.
Okay.
And I was a financial advisor. I sold stocks and bonds and CDs at several banks throughout San Diego County for about 15 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're on the financial side for 15 years.
That's right.
Wow. Okay. So you've piqued my curiosity now. How do you go from 15 years of experience in doing that, helping clients and all that, to I'm going to do loans?
It really was an easy transition.
Okay.
Working at the bank, I saw the loan officers come and go. They got there, it appeared to me late in the day, they left early, they were always laughing, they had one customer after another, and they seemed to have a lot more freedom than I had as a single mother. So I looked into it. I found that it was pretty easy for me since I already knew how to interview people. I'm a numbers person, etc. So I started off as a traditional loan officer doing FHA loans.
Okay.
And back in the day, I also did B paper loans and conventional loans, and then eased into reverse mortgages.
Okay, fantastic. All right, well, I appreciate that. Well, let me ask you this. So what caused you, obviously you were pretty successful probably doing traditional loans, right? How did you transition to wanting to only do reverse mortgages, right? You don't do the traditional, only reverse mortgages, right? 100%?
Right, 100%.
Tell me how you transitioned from traditional loan types, conventional FHA, VA, all those other options. How did you transition to only want to do that?
Well, Wade, imagine purchasing a new home with no monthly mortgage payments being required.
Okay.
That was what caught my attention about a reverse mortgage. So what it does, it offers individual buyers more options as far as what they can buy and what they can afford. And again, it's a great opportunity, I believe, for many baby boomers. I hear that over 10,000 people are turning 65 every day for the next several years. So it's a market that isn't really tapped, but becoming very popular. 62 is the new 52, or however that goes.
I'm 53, so I feel that.
Oh, yeah, you're close.
Tell me this, I do know that I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think in the past there used to be stigma around reverse mortgages and, oh, you're going to lose money and they're just out to get you. Now, I may be speaking out of turn, but
Mhm.
I swear I've seen or heard that somewhere. Can you validate that? Like there used to be a bad presence around that
Yes,
term, the term?
yes. And it is a total misconception. You never give up title to the house, and the bank does not own your house ever. Do you have a loan right now, Wade,
I
Bank of
do. I
America?
have a traditional, yeah,
Okay.
conventional. Yep.
So let's say it's at Wells Fargo.
Okay.
Wells Fargo has a lien on your house, but they don't really own your house. They just have a lien on it. The same
Right.
with the reverse mortgage.
Okay.
So that is a very common misconception. Reverse mortgages were started about 40 years ago now. Ronald Reagan helped initiate it.
Okay. Interesting.
And it has lots of little features in it geared to help the senior homeowner stay in place.
So tell me more about stay in place. So let's now transition to why would a senior 62 or older want or desire or need to do a reverse mortgage versus a traditional model?
Okay,
Benefit, if you could share the benefit of why the reverse would be a better fit for some. 62.
exactly. Right. It's not for everyone, but
Okay.
it definitely is a lifesaver for many. First of all, it's very easy to qualify for a reverse, and we have options. Reverse can be used for mortgage payments that can be sent to you for life based on the equity in your house. It can be a lump sum distribution, or it could be a line of credit, which is very popular right now with the economy. People, home values are high, interest rates are still low. Why not cash out on some of that house, some of that equity in your house, let the house work for you, and establish a line of credit for when you need it. And our lines of credit are irrevocable. They're non-cancelable. I don't know if you remember back in 07 or 08, we all went home after a good day at work and our banks had canceled our lines of credit. I understand a lot of banks right now are not offering a line of credit. We are, and it's non-cancelable for life.
Okay.
So that's one benefit. The most attractive benefit is that it works more or less like a deferred interest loan. The interest that we charge does not have to be paid on a monthly basis. It gets added to the back end of your loan. So whatever your loan balance is, we will add the interest payments to it. And you never have to make a mandatory monthly mortgage payment. You pay whenever you decide to move out of that house, or when you pass away, your estate can buy the house or refinance to pay us off. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does.
Okay. What other benefits? Well, primarily it enhances a person's style of way of life. Again, we have a lot of folks that they don't have to be seniors. We're living paycheck to paycheck. So if you need to do repairs on your home, you need a new roof, or you would like a wheelchair ramp, or you need something in the house and you're living on Social Security, maybe even Social Security and investment income, it just may not be enough. So why not tap into a reverse mortgage and make life a little easier, a little better for you?
Interesting. So I've got someone I know back in Texas, older, they qualify. The house is not in great shape, right? Husband's been deceased for a while and the house needs work, but she doesn't have a lot of income, from retirement or, from the government at all. So this would actually be a great opportunity to pull money out through a reverse mortgage.
Yeah.
I had to guess. I guess she probably needs 60,000, if not more, to do all the repairs that's needed. So
Right.
would it be a great package or benefit for her for what she needs. It sounds like.
She sounds like a candidate. By the way, working for Mutual of Omaha, I am a licensed loan officer and real estate agent as well. I've had my license for over 20 years, but Mutual of Omaha lets me do business in every state. So you said she lives in Texas? We love Texas. We love country western music. We can lend there.
I'm from Texas. You better love it.
You do? Yeah, you know that. The only place we don't lend is Alaska.
Okay.
Can't find enough appraisers to get out there, and New York State. It is an FHA loan. I didn't mention that. Reverse mortgages are FHA loans. So we do have guidelines to go by. Not every lender can do a HECM, which stands for Home Equity Conversion Mortgage. That's what we're calling reverse mortgages now. It's softer and friendlier. HECM, Home Equity Conversion Mortgage. Your relative in Texas, if she has repairs that need to be done and there are safety issues or health issues, she might need to do that before the reverse funds, but that doesn't mean she doesn't qualify for the loan. And qualifying is based on a person's age, the equity in the house, and current interest rates. We do not look at FICO scores. So qualifying is a lot easier when we're not going to take in a mortgage payment into your debt ratio like they do in the forward loan world.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Obviously, the age would be pretty easy because you got to be above that one. That's probably easy to qualify as long as you hit the age. And then the interest rate, we can't manage the interest rates. They are what they are at the market of today.
Right, that's right.
And so really it's the equity that they have in their house. Does that sound like that's probably that's the
Mhm.
deciding factor there,
Right.
correct?
It's very important because our loan to values are not as high as traditional mortgages. We only lend about 50 to 60% of the value of a house. So, and that's important to know because it's a safety feature for our borrowers. If your house is worth 500,000, well, that's hard here in San Diego. Let's say your house is worth $1 million. Okay. We're only going to lend you about 500,000, a certain percentage of 50% of that based on your age. So you're not using 70 or 80% or even 90% of the value of your house.
Okay.
At least half of that is in reserves, not touched. So years go by before you actually get to using the equity of your house, especially when we consider equity growth here in California, especially.
Gotcha.
We have a chart that shows a person how much their loan is and how much equity is remaining, and they get that every month. It's not complicated at all. It's just different. It's reverse. So we do take a lot of time to explain to people that they don't have to make a mortgage payment and how the loan compounds. We also remind them and yourselves that there is no prepayment penalty at all. If a borrower takes a reverse mortgage today and they want to downsize or upside a few years later or at any time, there is no prepayment penalty. They can sell that house or they can pay us off without any restriction.
Okay. Okay. Great. So I heard the word education, communication. I believe that should be very important for anyone across the nation. I'd say that wants to do a reverse mortgage is to have a reverse mortgage specialist. Would you recommend someone that specifically does reverse versus doing all the different platforms? And I'm sure they could do all, but I would personally want to use someone that only does reverse mortgages. To me, that makes sense because you're only focusing on that.
That's all we focus on. And it is different. And, we're dealing with a different clientele. We're dealing with a different time frame. So it is important to be a specialist as we are at Mutual of Omaha. And education is vital. As a matter of fact, there's a program called Reverse Mortgage Counseling. And after I meet with the client, I send them to do this telephone counseling appointment that is mandatory. And a neutral third party at the counseling agency will ask them several questions about the loan. And they have to do that in order to get an FHA case number so we can proceed. So we have our borrowers very well protected with transparency and lots of disclosures, a lot of them.
Love that.
When I meet with the client, I never take an application with me. That just is not what I do. I want to sit there and understand their needs, and I want to make sure they understand the program.
Sure.
It works better that way. I have another survey that tells me HUD did a survey of reverse mortgage clients. 93% of them said they are very happy with their loan. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty high. Congratulations. And that's through Mutual of Omaha?
Well, actually, that was a HUD
Well,
survey.
through HUD. Okay.
93% of reverse mortgage clients are very pleased that they made that decision.
So it sounds like in today's market versus kind of the hearsay and the negativity back in the day of reverse
Mhm.
mortgages, it could be a good fit depending on kind of what your needs are and equity and things like that. And so I love the fact that you communicate this at very upfront. Y'all have got processes in place for protection to make sure that a reverse mortgage specialist communicated properly, right?
Mhm.
Wasn't steering them to do this just to make a paycheck,
Mhm.
right? I love that.
Yeah, no, we don't do it to just make a paycheck. Our loans take a little longer, but we really are a special breed. We care a lot. I myself I feel many times like I am helping someone, truly helping them. It's not just a loan, it's a lifestyle. So yes, we do take our time. The average loan takes about 5 or 6 weeks from beginning to end. And when you ask me later on, I hope, about reverse mortgages for purchase, I can tell you how that works and how realtors can get involved in that program, increase their volume of production, and also help seniors that are relocating perhaps to a bigger house, a smaller house, or maybe just to move and be near kids or grandkids.
Gotcha. And
Mhm.
also, obviously, want to be respectful of everyone's time. We don't want to have a 3-hour meeting here where we start
We
to
don't.
right.
Okay.
We want to be very thoughtful. Nuggets right up front. So let's do this. Let's hop in and then we'll put a bow on this. Why don't you talk more about what you're just talking about with the
Okay.
actual purchase or whatever?
All right. Well, a lot of folks don't know that you can buy a house with a reverse loan. What happens is you do come in with a one-time down payment, and that down payment is 50 to 60% of the value of the house. So yes, that could be a substantial amount, but it's one time only. And again, no other mandatory payments are necessary on a monthly basis. So if you have a buyer, let's say you have a buyer that they just sold their house and they're holding on to equity of 600,000, right? And they think they can buy a house here in San Diego or many other places for $600,000. Well, we know they can't, not most of the time, let's say right now. A reverse will almost double their buying power, the purchasing power. So that 600,000 that they have in cash could qualify them for about a $1 million house.
Okay.
Okay. But let's say, Wade, that they don't want to use all that money. They want to keep some of it in the bank.
Okay.
So once again, if they want to use 400,000 of that equity for a down payment, that will qualify them for a house of about 700,000 or more. And they'll have leftover money in the bank for emergencies or liquidity.
So in your example, we've got a $600,000 sale. It's paid off. So they're going to net. We'll just say they netted 600,000 after all realtor fees and all that closing costs.
Right.
They've got 400 to play with. They're going to allow you to use the 400, go buy a $750,000 house. So they have more buying power with your program. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Now
I
they
mean,
still have 200,000 in the bank to
Right.
just as a safety net or emergency fund or
Right.
medical emergency, right?
Absolutely. And it's not like there's another stigma that I've heard that I don't understand really, but I know where they're coming from. And that's the word FHA. Okay. In the past, some people it signified low income people. They only have 3% down. Well, not anymore. If you're coming in with 50 to 60% based on your age, of course, the older you are, the less money you have to come in with. You're not low income. There is no stigma there. There is no reason why your offer on a new house can't be accepted when you're coming in with 50 to 60% down payment.
Gotcha.
So it opens up a realm of possibility for real estate agents and for buyers to upsize, to perhaps live in a house that they really want to live in, their dream house, or maybe out of necessity, they need a single story, or they need something different. They need to be near the ocean. Well, why not? They can do that. Their purchasing power has almost doubled.
How's the interest rates compare on a straight reverse mortgage versus a traditional?
Our interest rates are always just a little higher.
Yeah.
The adjustable was at 2.5. It's now at about 4%.
Okay.
And what is today, May 24th? We all know what happened in April. And our fixed rate is at 5.25. So not too bad.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Again,
Quite attractive.
people have options. So if they know of different programs, it's not just conventional, or some people want to pay all cash for a house and then their house broke. The house
Mhm.
is paid off, but now they don't have a lot of money. So it's not always makes sense to always pay cash and then fully for a house. So we try to explain that on the real estate side, is to give our clients and customers the most information to help them make the best
Make the
decision. At the end of
decision.
the day, it's their choice, but
Yes.
we're going to lift them up, consult, and share all the great information so they can make that best decision.
But that's where you and I come in. A lot of people just don't know. They don't know that they can buy a house with a reverse mortgage. Or they don't know that they can refinance a free and clear house, or any house for that matter, and have cash up front with very easy qualification. And what can they do with that cash? They can do anything they want. We don't ask. They can even buy another house, or they can lend money to their adult children and get them started. The possibilities are almost endless.
All right. So I'm obviously a realtor here in the San Diego area. I've got a lot of realtor friends across the nation that I've met. I'm a Texas guy. So from Houston, lived in Dallas and lived in San Antonio, went to school near Austin. So if I had someone that wanted to use your program or product in Texas, as just an example,
Mhm.
same process, right? Reach
Right.
out to you, we'd get an approval letter,
Yes,
right? You've done some underwriting process. Do you do some underwriting ahead of time? So it's more of a like a desk underwritten, kind of conditionally approved, or do you all?
absolutely.
Okay, good. Not pre-qualification. For those that don't know, you've got pre-qual, pre-approval, and then you've got conditionally approved, AKA desk underwritten or DU. So do y'all go down the path of getting them underwritten a little bit further than
Yes.
most maybe?
We do it all. We do pre-approvals by an underwriter. So I gather the basic information, it goes to my underwriter, and she tells us how much we can qualify for. And all I need for that is 48 hours. And then I can talk to your client, figure out their income, their age. We also prioritize on purchases. They get underwritten right away above all other refinances. And by the way, we are the #1 lender in the country for HECMs for purchase. Last year, we tripled our average production in 2021.
So more people are understanding reverse mortgages, more
Yes,
people are
sir.
researching it,
Right?
and 93% satisfaction rating. So obviously the old word on the streets, not the old words anymore. There's
Right.
value there.
Yep.
Through the programs and
There's nothing to stop us from working with the baby boomers. They're out there, and we can help.
Okay, great. Well, is there anything else in closing you'd like to share? I think we had some great information. I think a lot of times if anyone that's watching this video, we're going to give your information here shortly, but I'm sure you can dig in, communicate that at a high level. Anything basically in closing you'd like to share before we let our visitors go?
Well, what I would like to do is maybe meet with you again, or whomever is interested, so I can show you the program. So, because I believe that if you feel comfortable about what you're representing, you're going to do a better job of it.
Yep.
So we have different terminology. We have a slightly different process than a traditional loan. We're more personal. We're more one-on-one. I would very much like to meet the people that I work with, in addition to the people I'm working for, the
Right.
borrowers.
And with Zoom nowadays, it's so much easier. You can virtually meet anyone across the nation.
Isn't that great?
That can
Yeah.
meet you virtually and kind of talk to you first, and then refer you to a client if they feel comfortable with you. So, okay. So tell everyone your name again I know your name, but tell everyone again.
My name is Marta Hoyt, and my cell number is 760-519-2219. And I'm here at headquarters in Mission Valley, San Diego.
Mission Valley, but you are licensed to do anywhere in the United States except Alaska.
Yeah, no, too cold in Alaska, and we can't
Makes
get
sense.
We have
Try to
to
get appraisals
helicopter.
out in the middle of nowhere to
Yeah, we have to
appraise the house.
helicopter them out, and that's expensive.
Igloo did not appraise. We have an appraisal gap on that igloo up there.
Right,
Just
right.
teasing. So Marta, thank you so much for
You.
visiting with us today and sharing the information. I know there's a lot of miscommunication out there about what you do, and I love the fact that you only do this specifically for reverse
Sure.
mortgage. I've known each other for a long time. You
Mhm.
definitely have a passion for what you do, and I
I
love
do.
that.
I
You're
sure
like me.
do.
That's why I think we like each other in the fact that we're about relationships over transactions. We're very good at transactions, but if we can build a relationship, we communicate at a high level and
Mhm.
consult at a high level, people are going to respect and appreciate that. And they're going
That's
to want
right.
to use us and refer us more. So Marta Hoyt, thank you so much. Good to
Thank
see you
you.
again.
My pleasure. Thank you
And
so much.
we'll talk soon.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Thanks for everyone.